Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Kyle gives Victor a counter-offer after a huge fight with Diane, and Traci and Alan spend a night on the town. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. In Paris, Traci and Alan are in the Parisian bar. She asks what or who he's looking for. Alan just wonders if Martin had come there before the night he met Ashley there. He wonders if he was a regular and if someone might think he's his late brother. He's not sure what that would look like. Traci warns what he finds out could be worse than what he already knows. Alan worries that someone is owed an apology. Traci reminds him he's not his brother and urges him to forgive himself. Traci wonders if this will give him peace of mind. Alan goes on about Martin being so sick. He didn't know how bad it was. Traci thinks he needs to stop torturing himself. Alan has to wonder what Martin's endgame was, what he put Ashley through. He hates that. There was a time they shared everything. Traci can't imagine what he's going through, but is happy to listen. It's the least she can do after all he's done for Ashley. Alan gushes about how deeply kind Traci is, and tells her he's not sure he can forgive himself or Martin. Traci says Martin's mental illness was not Alan's fault. You can't go back and change history. All you can do is change how you feel about it now. They go over him witnessing his brother's death. She points out that grieving is a process. Alan knows she's right. Traci teases that she's created characters who are psychologists and maybe should have a degree. Alan marvels about her being such a beautiful woman with a fascinating career. He needs to hear about her. At the tack house, Victoria and the kids make a list of what they want to do this summer. Victoria says Claire has a list of movies she thinks they'll love. Katie just remembered she has friends to see. They can have movie night without her. Victoria asks her to give her new sister a chance. Katie snarls, "What's the point?" She questions why Claire has to live there. Isn't she a nanny for the Abbotts? Couldn't she live with them? At the ranch, Victor tells Nick he and Nikki are very proud of the man he's become. Nikki echoes this sentiment. Nick thanks his parents. Victor asks if he's spoken to Victoria about rejoining him at Newman Enterprises. Nick didn't think he needed to since she agreed to go to Newman Media with their mom. Victor reminds him that's not what he wants. Nikki sniffs, "So you're saying that what I want is not important?" Victor says he cares about what Nikki wants, they just disagree on this. Nikki complains that handing it to Adam is a big red flag. She needs to come back to work. Victor asks why they're fighting about this. Nikki fumes that Newman Media is her domain and he's telling her she has no say in how it's run. Nick sides with his mother. Victor's irked that he just expressed his gratitude and now he's arguing with him. Nikki says their son values both of his parents and her opinion. Victor thinks the only side is what's best for Newman Enterprises. Nikki rants that nothing is ever easy with Adam. No one knows that better than Nicholas. Nick agrees with both of them, but feels his mother should be able to go back to work if she wants to. Victor says it's not happening. End of discussion. With that, he walks out of the room. Audra finds Kyle at the club bar and notes he left the meeting at the ranch without telling them his answer. Kyle says working together requires trust. Audra suggests they start with mutual tolerance. Kyle says, "Not with you." Audra asks why he didn't tell Victor no right away. Kyle was trying to be polite, but he thinks she already knows his answer. No way in hell. Audra tells Kyle she tried to tell Victor he'd be a hard sell. Kyle says it's not a negotiation. He wonders if the mustache knows about their history. What makes him think they should team up? Audra feels it doesn't matter. She knows a good opportunity when she sees it. Kyle thinks this is all about money and a power grab for her. Audra counters that only someone born into it would make it sound so petty. She tells him this would be their own company to run as they see fit. Won't you even consider it? Kyle wants to know what she's up to. Audra insists she has no agenda and says Victor implied he's not happy and might be open to opportunity. Kyle doesn't want to go from bad to worse. Audra says they could dominate at Glissade. Victor promised to be a silent partner and expressed great faith in him. Most importantly, that's not a man you want to say no to. Kyle wouldn't be turning down working with him, he'd be saying no to working with her. Is he supposed to erase all the double dealings she pulled on him? She argues they pulled things on each other. Audra asks what she can do to change his mind as Diane walks in. She finds it interesting that they have their heads together and asks, "What's this all about?" Audra tells Diane she approached Kyle to make amends since she's experienced some good fortune. Diane snarks at her about Tucker. Audra says he's the past and she's starting fresh. Diane says she knows from experience the only way is to succeed in spite of him. Audra says she's highly motivated. Diane wonders if she's highly motivated or desperate. Audra decides to leave. Diane asks Kyle what is going on and what exactly Audra wants him to keep an open mind about. At the tack house, Victoria tells Katie they're not going to throw Claire out of her home. She knows she's sad about losing the other house, but they have each other. Johnny pleads for Katie to cut Claire some slack. Just then Victor arrives and greets his grandchildren. Katie tells him she misses her home. Victor reminds her the ranch once burned down as well, but they built a new life. They sit and Victor asks them how it feels to have a new sister. Johnny says she seems nice. Victor says she's very sweet and has always wanted a sister like Katie to love. Katie asks, "Really?" Victor goes on about how it feels to grow up feeling lonely as he did. They must embrace Claire, love her, and make her part of the family. Nick and Nikki walk into society with her fuming about Victor refusing to listen to her. Newman Media is her jurisdiction. Nick admits him wanting Adam there doesn't sit right. Maybe he thinks there's tension between him and his brother. Nikki wonders if that's actually the case. In Paris, Alan asks Traci to start from the beginning. Traci laughs at him, calling her family a dynasty. Talk turns to her performing with Danny Romalotti. Alan's impressed. Traci says she was sheltered by her brother and sister, so it was a freeing time in her life. When their mother walked out on them, her father was their rock. It was his boundless love for the three of us that really made him a giant. After he was gone, they became the Three Musketeers. Now, she's worried she let Ashley down since she experienced childhood trauma. It's haunted her for her entire life, and now it's haunting her. Alan supposes neither one of them is good at taking a night off of ruminating about their siblings. Traci's sorry she brought the mood down. She has been worried. Alan cannot be sure that the alters emerged during Ashley's childhood, though the vast majority of cases of DID come from ongoing trauma. They decide they need to stop torturing themselves and believe it will get better. They joke about being a support group and start sharing some laughs. They agree they'll get through this. Alan tells Traci that Ashley's lucky to have a sister like her. He suggests they have another glass of wine and maybe he can convince her to sing a rock song. Traci laughs that she'll take the wine and a rain check on the song. In society, Nick tells his mother he and Adam have never been in a better place. Part of that may be because he feels for what he's going through with Connor, but he's never once shirked his duties at Newman because of it. Nikki wonders if Victor's offering this opportunity as a distraction for Adam. Nick feels that doesn't make sense. Working as a team has been successful, and now Victor wants to break it up. Nikki worries he's displeased with her work. Nick reassures her. Nikki asks what it is then. Why is he so determined to make all of these changes? Nick suggests they take a step back and let his dad have this one. He's hyperprotective of her. If he thinks she needs more time, nothing will change his mind. He thinks, if they're being honest, Adam is the best choice for Newman Media. Nikki wants to go back to work, but Victor's agenda is getting in the way. Nick says he's not going to admit there's more to it. He suggests she focus on her charity work. Nikki won't be able to think about Adam, who will never want to leave if he gets in and at Newman Media.